Breaking news. We have just learned that the duper virus derived from pigs.
BioGun is a twin-stick shooter metroidvania with a fun premise, great overall presentation and a really awesome soundtrack. It's still in early access, but you are already able to complete the main storyline, even though some areas aren't accessible yet. So the exploration is a bit limited here and there, but you are able to finish the game at least. As Beck, you function as a vaccine to battle the duper virus, a virus that is responsible for a serious pandemic and could mean the end of all dog kind if no one is able to find a cure soon. So it's up to you to see if you are up for the challenge to become the ultimate cure and save dog kind from extinction. Getting injected into the microscopic world inside the dog is such a fun experience. It's full of vibrant colors and imaginative set pieces. The many characters you meet along the way are really charming and a fun representation of what they are supposed to be in the real world. The world building is just top notch. So many areas are full of little details and many characters have their own unique personality and backstory. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Why is my dog urinating all over the exam table?
But there are still some moments that can be a bit sad or tense. The gameplay is also really enjoyable. It's fast-paced action with great controls and fun abilities, but I do think the range of your gun is a bit short, even though you have an alternative fire option that extends your range, but depletes your energy when you use it. It does add for sure a bit more difficulty, because you can also use your energy to heal yourself. So knowing when to use your alternative weapon and when to heal can be a fun challenge. But to get energy in the first place, you need to hit enemies with your default gun, and this can be a bit tedious when your bullets don't reach them sometimes. The level design is overall a bit basic. Your unlockable abilities can make the platforming a lot faster and in later areas a bit more complex, but I can't say I was impressed by it. Thankfully, these enzymes are a fun gimmick and they change up the gameplay nicely. Especially when you get the ability to capture one for later use, so you can extend the effect. Exploring this world is also pretty enjoyable. There are some fun and interesting looking biomes that can introduce you to a few new gimmicks, and each area has a lot of hidden collectibles and secrets. If you would like a bit of handholding in exploring this world, you can activate these nervous systems that reveal the map layout. And if you would like to know where everything is in an area, like boss fights, collectibles and enzymes for example, you can use 3 synapses, and this makes collecting everything really easy as long as you have the right abilities unlocked for it. Otherwise you have to use fast travel to come back later. The fast travel animation is really in theme and visually pleasing, but it's in my opinion a bit too long and breaks the flow of the game a bit. It's one of the most creative fast travel animations I have seen though. I was also a bit bummed out by the fact that you can only equip one chip at a time, because I found my favorite chip straight away and never used another one. So I basically have spent all my currency on buying more synapses, these ionized atoms that let you upgrade your health or your atomic energy if you find 3 of them, and these heads that are purely just cosmetic. And that's why I would have loved to see at least 2 more chip slots. My money was just sitting there in my inventory most of the time, and I didn't have to worry about losing it, because you don't lose anything when you die. You only lose the ability to regain energy, and you can get it back by hitting enemies for a decent amount of times, or by returning to the spot where you've died before. So when I died by mainly boss encounters, I didn't have to worry about losing any money, which makes this game a lot more accessible to less experienced players. But I personally wouldn't have minded a bit more Souls-like elements. Some boss fights are straight out of a Souls-like game though. In fact, they can be such an increase in difficulty that I had to swap to a controller so I could dodge some attacks more consistently, even though I highly recommend to use a mouse and keyboard for the aiming of your gun. I really enjoyed the boss fights, and they are for sure, together with the overall presentation, the best aspect about this game. Many bosses have great designs, different phases, awesome attacks and exciting moments, and their encounters are even more action-packed because of the really catchy and memorable soundtrack. Oh, and don't forget to use your scan ability multiple times, because you will eventually get a reward that lets you see the health bar of a boss when you use this ability during the fight. So in general, BioGun is another great metroidvania that you shouldn't miss out on. While it isn't perfect because of the short range of your default weapon and the limited chip usage, for example, it's for sure the game with the best overall presentation that I have played so far this year. This game was a blast, and even though some areas aren't accessible yet, and I did come across some bugs or glitches, I still highly recommend to give this early access version a try, because it already feels like a finished game. Yes, the exploration is a bit limited, because you will find some dead ends along the way, but you can complete the main storyline and unlock every ability already. Exploring the very charming and vibrant world of BioGun is definitely worth your time, so make sure to check this early access version out, because it's going to be an experience you won't forget soon. So be ready to get injected into this imaginative microscopic world and see if you are up for the challenge to destroy the duper virus, so you will become the ultimate cure and save dogkind from extinction.